Previously on Critically Stupid.
Been on the road and I'm making new friends. I met a wizard and the magic never ends. I'm sure he can't read, but he's the brightest guy I know. Unless there are numbers involved, then he's kinda slow, 'cause he didn't go to school. But he's no fool. But he's my best friend, him and everyone I meet. Like my pal Floon and the gnolls that bit his feet. We met some monsters and that night we saved Floon's life. Then headed to a tavern to try to have a good night, but we got in a fight. Floon was nowhere in sight. While playing cards, a man left to his feet threatened the wizard and said he was a cheat. But I stepped in and showed him my threes. Something growled and everyone decided to freeze. But I still had my threes. A monster climbed up, they said it was a troll. I was surprised to see a new friend come from that hole. I said hello and I tried to shake his hand, but some strangers made a fuss and jumped on some businessman. That was not the plan. Came together and defeated the beast. Of all my best friends, I probably liked him least. I mean, I still liked him. Then we met some guy who said he had a quest. He would pay us, put our skills to the test. Now we have a quest to find my old best friend Floon.
Got it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, Katie. What's up?
I'm just curious how old everybody is. I know Garen's 19.
And confirm.
19. God, I'm old.
We're all 19.
No, I hate to break it to you. Diana, in this fucking scenario, I'm the outlier here. I'm like parading around as a fake adult.
You're parading around with your youth.
How
must be nice to be young enough to parade.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I haven't gotten out of bed without a bad back in years.
No.
You know me, very youthful and dripping with energy.
I'm 33.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm 36.
Okay. I feel like Alex is just going to avoid the question.
I'm 47. So what's going to happen is this.
I feel like you've got to be around my age.
Yeah, 47. It's around there. It's in the neighborhood.
You're not 47.
47 is what I heard.
I'm not 47.
I'm pretty sure you're not.
I'm going to confidently say
right.
You are not.
We're gonna move along. Thank you so much for coming. We're gonna go just to switch the order up so that Diana doesn't get mad at me. We'll go Anthony, Garion, Katie, and then Diana. You get to go last.
Switching it up, throwing Anthony under the bus.
Yeah, you're fine, buddy. You
fine.
do this professionally.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm playing the role of Arnold Stevenson, the optimistic bard who makes everyone his best friend, and I'm excited to find my best friend, Floon.
Garion.
I play Gareth, who is one of many of Arnold's best friends. Notably not a wizard, he is a rogue. That's about it.
Tremendous. Katie.
Hey, I'm Katie. I play Cerulean. She is a Water Genasi sorcerer who is looking for her fam bam to put them all back together.
Diana.
I'm Dianna. That's it. I am playing. That's my intro. Nothing else is needed. I am playing Mel, who is Arnold's one true best friend out of all of them, because you gotta have one above all else. I'm everybody's bestie. Just letting you know. I am a half elf ranger, and I am pretty much looking to kind of find myself.
Aren't we all? I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's jump into it. It is the yawning portal. One afternoon after work, and you guys have just been offered a quest by Volo Geddarm to find his friend Floon, who you all have a working knowledge of. Fun fact, my favorite moment from last week's episode is the moment on Garion's face when he realizes that he in fact forgot that he knew who Floon was.
It wasn't Gareth forgetting. No, it was me for real actually forgetting, because I'm a moron.
Yeah. So you're sitting.
How does the youngest one of us have the worst memory?
So you're sitting at the table with Volo. It's a crowded tavern, so you're isolated by dint of crowd and noise. Do you want to chat with him at all, or learn about the city, or do you want to just like head on out to the Sea Ward and try your luck?
I'm kind of very eager to go off looking for Arnold's best friend Floon, but that's just my vote.
I have a gameplay question that I never established with you prior to this moment. What is our money situation currently?
Stole money though. Not a wizard. Stole money, right?
But
I did steal about $6 from that sailor.
Was that it?
Yeah, I think Garion's carrying like 10 copper, and I'll give him 2 silver because I'm feeling generous. And I think the rest of you have got, I don't know, I'm guessing like probably the bard has more than any of you because he's the only one gainfully employed.
He's a showman.
I feel like the bard's financially irresponsible though.
Seems like a good question for the bard.
I feel like I'm just very kind, and I would help my friends out. So you're right. Maybe I wouldn't call it financially irresponsible. I'd call it very sweet-hearted. And
he's very generous.
You're very generous. You're all very welcome. I will continue to play and dance for your meals. Thank you very much.
Right.
Dance, puppet, dance.
So yeah, we don't actually need to pay for anything. We can pair our tabs with Arnold's dancing.
I'll be outside again. I work the corners for my friends.
I was gonna say.
So what are we doing?
How I paid my way through college.
Okay, so
this guy. So what do we want to do with him?
So the man whom I imagine looks a lot like a walrus. I don't know why. That's what I'm picturing from your voice. I just imagine like this tufty. I don't know what he really looks like. I've not seen. Yeah, I'm imagining like this. Like he. I'm pretty much like it's like a Zoidbergian from Futurama,
Sure,
just like
yeah.
with tufts of hair.
like the thing from the Phantom Menace, the tribe leader of Jar Jar's people. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Mob Gideon or whatever. That's not it.
So this man, I see him at the table. Is he? I know he's a writer of many books of about adventures and characters and such. Does he have any of these books on him that I can see? Like if I look around.
He's got a sort of a satchel slung against the back of his chair, and sort of leaning back, you can see quills, parchment. The bag is ink stained, but it doesn't really look like heavy enough to have like tomes in it. Being roughly familiar with his work, you know that his books are sizable, so you'd be able to tell if he had one on him.
Got it. Oh man. So we're all pretty familiar with him, right? Like he's
you've like, at least heard his name once.
Okay. So I take my loot out. I take my let's go with, what do I have, a lyre? I'm gonna take my lyre out. And I'm gonna ask him desperately to sign it before we go. I'm like, look, I know. I know it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for all my friends to see this because they don't have a lyre to get signed, and I apologize.
So true.
But I would just it would mean so much to me if you would just sign your name right here on this list. And I ask him I just kind of like bow to him, and I ask for his signature because I'm a big fan of adventures and monsters, and I would love to get his signature. So I do that.
I just want to say, when you said you pull out your loot, I forgot that was a musical instrument. I'm just like, you pull out all of your loot
my
onto
money.
the table right now.
It's not that
Yeah.
much. It would not take that long.
Yeah.
Volo
You're gonna have to
is
dance a little more.
deeply flattered, and you can see his like flattered, but there's also
Jowls.
like he just like perks right up, and there's like a rosy glow to his cheeks. He's well, of course I'd be happy to sign it, young man. I've signed many an instrument before. And he reaches into his bag and he pulls out a ridiculous quill. It's like 2.5 feet long.
Comically long
and he,
quill.
like, licks it and signs his name in huge, like, swooping letters before handing it back to him and says, I knew I liked you, young sport.
Yes. So I take it and I kind of like blow on it so the ink dries. I'm just like almost kissing it, but not. You know, so I'm like, okay, let's go find Floon so I can show him my awesome autograph. Like, is everyone in? What do we have to do? What do we need? And yeah, so I look to my friends. And are we ready?
I look to Volo and I say, well, honey, do you know if there's anybody in particular we should ask for that maybe would know anything about Floon?
Well, I should say start the Skewered Dragon. I mean, Floon is, of course, my dear friend. And we had a brunch date for tomorrow, of course, for shrimp French toast. And I will say I think there was something on Floon's mind the other day. We spoke and made brunch plans, and he seemed a wee bit preoccupied. But beyond myself, I dare say I am Floon's dearest companion. So I don't.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure, fuck yeah, you can.
Okay.
Also, I want to ask a follow-up question after this inside check.
What'd you roll, Katie?
I know nothing. I got a 3 without my modifiers, but I know nothing.
Okay, yeah, you're pretty sure this is Volo.
Oh, I'm an 8. Yeah, I mean, it's an 8. I have a +5, but it's still an 8.
Was this last time you spoke with Floon? Was this the last time you saw him?
Yes, I saw him just the other afternoon. He came into the bar and coerced me into buying him a drink, the rapscallion, and we made plans for brunch. But he did seem a little bit preoccupied. He seemed like there was something on his mind.
All right, thank you. And I remember that I have an accent now. When was this? Do you say a few days ago?
Yes, this was just a few days ago.
Outstanding.
As far as the particulars about who would know about Floon, as I said, I do believe that I am his boon companion, but I would urge you caution, adventurers, if you are new to these streets, moving through the city wearing something of a civil war. It's just unsavory characters about, you know. So just be cautious. You've heard of the Black Network. You know what they're capable of.
I
have
absolutely
not,
have not heard of them.
We are a bunch of clueless morons.
The Black what now?
The Black Network, the Gentarim, as they are known. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but yes, the Black
I wouldn't
Network.
know either way.
So out of character, the Black Network or the Zentarim are a network of.
Oh, the Zentarim and the Xanathar Guild. Xanathar Guild are in a civil war. I have that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So the Black Network or
Katie, take
Zentarim,
better notes.
She had the notes. She just didn't write them.
No, it's amazing. I'm impressed. You're incredible.
The Zentarim or the Black Network are a group of, I would call them like rapscallions. They're
hooligans.
Hooligans. They're a group of people who have sort of like built themselves up to be this sort of like network of not quite legal, not quite illegal fences.
Like the black market.
A little bit. They'll buy and
Like
sell.
a gang?
They're a little, they're a formal organization. Their legal side is protection for nobles, armored chariots.
Oh, they're like the mafia.
A little bit, yeah, but they do a lot more actual literal buying and selling than your standard
mafia
organized crime ring. Yeah.
Both of them do, or just one of them?
That is the Black Network. You don't know anything about Xanathar, but the way that Volo is talking about them, you should find out.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we should head over to the Skewered Dragons, test our luck there.
before we go, I kind of go, wait, there are bad guys, and I look at Zolo, and I'm just like, do they have like eye patches or anything? Do they have any kind of like distinguishing? Do they wear mustaches so we can recognize them, or like? And I try to. Like basically, my character's trying to determine whether or not there's any sort of like symbol, like a rebel symbol or something. Like like are they terrible? Do they wear swastikas? That way, in the future,
are they racist?
Let's establish this early. If there is a Nazi symbol in this campaign, it's all the way bad.
Okay,
I'm really hoping to avoid it sort of entirely.
Good clarification.
That's a good question. He's still riding on that high because somebody asked him for his autograph. But you see a little bit of that fire die down a little bit, and the corners of his smile sort of dip. And he says, it's deep talks, you understand, dear boy. The darker corners of the taverns and the meaner streets talk about an insignia, a circle with 10 spokes. I've never seen it myself. I've referenced it. I've heard about it for my books, of course, and all that has to do his research. But I would urge caution if you see such a sigil.
Okay.
Is there any reason to think that Floon got caught up with these
Oh,
people?
no, of course not. Floon is a stand-up citizen. He might have been a wee bit preoccupied. He might be a little blow-hearted at some point, but no. He would never be involved. Floon would never get mixed up in all that. He's a genuine sort, a good old-fashioned chap. All right, we're rolling.
Yes, same. Okay, we'll roll. Fine.
It is, as I said, the evening. So night is falling over the city of Waterdeep. It is early spring, late winter, so it's kind of miserable outside. It's raining. The streets are cold. There are people just starting to light the street lamps. And so you're walking through the streets, and you actually there's a commotion ahead on your way to Floon gave you cross streets for the Skewered Dragon. He pointed you in the right direction. He wouldn't just let you wander around. But as you're walking down, there seems to be a cordoned off section of the streets. There's an upturned wagon and several dark silhouettes lying on the cobbles, and there are a number of city guard and liveried uniforms sort of like moving traffic along, stopping passerbys to let the occasional horse and carriage go through. But there is a scene ahead.
Do any of the guards look particularly young or new, like they don't know what they're doing?
There is there's a guard standing sort of close to a building away from like sort of the main action of like people moving traffic, and he's just sort of like fiddling with the hilt of his sword a little bit.
Is there anyone like injured at the scene up ahead with the overturned wagon?
As you get closer, not close enough that you have to interact with the scene just yet, but you notice that there are 3 men kneeling in front of or sort of like in this scene, and there are 2 dead bodies that the guard is trying to cover up with wax sheets and sort of whatever they can to get it away from prying eyes on the streets.
So yes,
there's a lot going on.
I run up to the young, inexperienced looking guard and immediately I say, honey, I'm looking for my friend, and she was supposed to be coming in the carriage, and I can't find her, and I don't know who you have under the sheets. What happened here?
Ooh, that's a good one. Give me a persuasion check.
Or wouldn't that be bluff? Whatever. You're the DM.
What is that? Okay, so 17 plus, you said persuasion?
Yep.
22.
22. Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, he says, oh gosh, miss, I'm not actually supposed to tell anybody, but you said it was a she. Those are dudes. So like, I think you're okay.
Oh my gosh, what happened to them?
I'm not really supposed to tell.
Well, honey, I won't tell anybody. I promise. You can trust me.
How close are the rest of you to Cerulean right now?
I kind of went my character's first instinct was to like check if everyone was okay, so I'm kind of up in there.
You get about 5 feet away before a burly man picks up a quarterstaff and puts it into your chest and says, "Step away."
That seems aggressive. Okay.
Mel, what are you up to? Do you roll up with Cerulean?
I almost think that I wouldn't want to overwhelm, because we kind of want him to believe this story, and if there's a whole bunch of us, and undoubtedly you would try to make him your best friend, and that would just be very overwhelming. So I think that I would probably back away, maybe like take in the scene a little bit further away, just see what everybody's doing, take in what I can.
Legit. Cerulean, this young guard, ducks his chin like he's got a secret, and a boyish grin sort of like spreads over one side of his lips, and he says, "Oh gosh, I'm not supposed to say, but it's really just so exciting. This was an assassination." I know.
What a twist.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, we don't really know who it was for. The sergeant back there is just still trying to identify the bodies because there's not much left.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that it wasn't my friend. You know what? My name is Roxy. If you ever just want to talk, I'm right here. If you got any information, you just want to get it off your chest. I know how hard it can be to be new on a job. Are you new on a job? You seem like you're young, handsome chap. I feel like you might be new here.
This is my third week.
Oh my goodness. Well, aren't you just the sweetest? Well, again, my name's Roxy. If you ever need anything, if you ever see me, if you got information, if you see me pass by, just tell me. I'd love to just vent to me. I can take it all.
Okay. Anthony, what are you up to while this is happening?
I was still kind of looking at my lyre, and I was watching what was happening. And then, so like, I imagine that I would have been aware of what happened with my friends in front of me. And I see Cerulean, and I see like there's this weird love story going on. And then I also see that there's like this violent situation going on with my first friend. So I'm just like, this is amazing. So I just started kind of like playing my lyre and just like trying to figure out what kind of music to play, because I don't know what's going. Like right now, there's violence and love, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so while the bard, so as soon as you start strumming your lyre, your lute, or whatever you're using, you start picking up some attention. Obviously, like people on the street start turning to you, and the traffic that these guards are trying to move through the street immediately starts to like congest as people slow up and a knot of people forms around you.
Natural talent.
Gareth, as this crowd is sort of buffeting and changing the layout of the street, you're pushed a couple steps closer into the guard, not by your fault, but you're able to get a little bit closer. Give me a quick perception check. I want to see how much of this scene you're picking up.
We got a 16 plus 3 is 19.
19 is pretty good. These men are all dressed in matching black leather armor. Very utilitarian stuff. It's not fancy, but it's definitely seen some use. Scuffs, nicks. There's places where it's been patched up. Their weapons.
So any suspicious circle with 10 spokes logo?
Negative. There are. I mean, it's hard to see because it is dark. It is raining. Their arms are sort of like tied behind them, so you can't really see all of it.
Fair enough.
But not immediately like on the breast, or they don't have.
Now, are you talking about the people cleaning up or the victims?
I'm talking about the people under arrest. The 3 people kneeling in front of the building.
Gotcha. I understand.
So,
so there's 3 people under arrest kneeling. There's 2 people dead?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Can I see the dead people? No, they're under wax, you said.
Yeah, the guards are actively trying to like cover them up for the sake of decency.
Because there are dead people in public. Yeah,
I can't have that.
Am I still near homeboy, like still talking to him?
The captain, or the sergeant, I should say, who put the quarterstaff in Gareth's chest, also noticed that I will say an unaccompanied lady started talking to one of his soldiers and is in the process of hustling you along.
Did I catch the young soldier's name by chance?
Yeah, he told you his name was Adam.
Did she get a quarterstaff to the chest?
She did not.
No, I'm a young unaccompanied lady.
Sexist.
Lame as hell.
So as I'm playing, you said people are kind of forming around me a little bit.
Yep.
Do they seem like they're pleased by what I'm doing?
No.
No, it's like they're okay. So they don't love me. I get that. That's fine.
I was gonna say throw a hat down, but maybe don't.
Yeah. So I can see that these people don't like me. So I slowly kind of like play by them as like quieting down as I'm walking through the crowd. But I try to take a look at the people who were arrested. Do I recognize anything about them? Not recognize them as if like I'm familiar with them, but when I see them, do I get any kind of impression about them, or can we learn anything about the two people or the people who are arrested?
Yeah, give me I'll take an investigations check for it.
Okay, so is that a D20 plus something?
That's a D20 plus your investigation skill.
Investigation.
Yes,
okay, got it. Cool. Okay, well, it's not a great investigation. All right, it's 4 plus. Let's see. That's 9 total. So.
9 total. Okay, not the best. Your impression is more of an artistic nature. You get the sense that these are bad dudes. Long, greasy hair, sort of hastily tied up, bruises, cuts from maybe a couple days ago, some fresh. Definitely fighting dudes, and they make almost fearless eye contact with everybody, including the guards. Their shoulders aren't bent, their necks aren't slumped. Like they seem to almost be defiant in their current state.
Okay.
So they're definitely mercenaries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a frame job.
Frame job. All right, moving along through the C ward. The streets get narrow, the buildings get shitty, the air smells of low tide and excrement. And you come to a sort of like a busy junction close to the water where a sort of square opens up, and dominating one side is a building that's sort of like leaning, slumped to one side, like it's slowly falling into the sea some blocks behind it, with a crooked sign over the top that says the Skewered Dragon. It is not the busiest tavern. I mean, having come from the Yawning Portal, which was 3 floors of like slamming business and crowds and chatter, this place seems almost like quiet by comparison. You walk inside, half the tables are full, and even the ones that are occupied, there's only 3 people sitting at a 5-person table. People are bent over their tankards and their cups, engrossed in either serious conversations or serious gambling. Just like in the Yawning Portal, people were gambling, but this is not the jovial sort of like, you scamp or anything like that. Like, no, people are taking this very seriously. But there is also like a bartender behind the bar who sort of like nods at you as you come in, and she sort of gives you one of the old chin nods.
Well, I'm gonna wait for the rest of my party before sitting down at the bar.
I'm gonna follow
Gareth
in, but I'm gonna
just when we all
sit.
go in.
I'm gonna sit maybe like 2 seats over, just to have some separation, so we don't necessarily get grouped together as a
I
group.
sit right next to Cerulean, and I'm immediately like, "Is your husband gonna come to this bar with us?" Whoa, wait! I saw you two were in love. You were in love. That's amazing. I've never actually seen love. That was wonderful.
As much as I want to tell you that that's what love looks like, honey, I'm so sorry to tell you that's just not it. He's not my husband. He's a little young for me, but there's always time. Someday in the future, I'll let you know when I find it.
With him?
No, absolutely not.
The bartender rolls up. It is a sort of rough and tumble looking lady with like scars over the backs of her knuckles. She sort of like slaps some coasters in front of half of you and looks at the other half and figures you're fine. Says, "What do you want?"
I don't have any money, do I?
You got enough to pay for a drink, maybe.
Okay. All right. I will order a glass of the cheapest ale they've got.
Okay. It's called Rot Gut, and it comes in a giant barrel behind the bar. What's everybody's actually? What is a good question? What's everybody's beverage of choice if you do drink? If you do imbibe?
In like real life?
No, in game. Why would I?
I'm so
Yeah,
confused.
for the piece of shit 19-year-old who can't drink yet, who gets tap water.
I forgot.
Anyway, Gareth will get some rot gut because he's frugal.
Okay.
Actually, wait, I have extra money because I like robbed that, or I didn't rob him. I won it fair and square from that gambling match.
You have 2 pieces of silver to rub together.
I'm gonna get 2 glasses of rot gut then. More bang for my buck.
Okay, fair enough. Mel, what do you drink?
I'm not. I'm poor, and that sounds terrible. And I gotta be kind to my stomach. I'm not really too soups interested in the love talk that's happening with like I understand that the bard would like to learn about it so he can sing about it later, but we got shit to do. So I'm not gonna waste time. I feel like I'm just gonna ask the bartender if she knows anything about Floon.
Who?
He had a reservation here for brunch with some writer guy. I don't know. Who? Arnold, who assigned your loot again?
Oh my gosh. Guys, my best friend. He's the most famous writer in all the land. Look at the signature. It's clearly, look at it. Look, it's perfect. It's beautiful. And I show her
hope
my...
it's smeared.
So it is actually a little bit smeared
We're
from the
blowing
rain.
on it so much.
He did pull it out in the rainy street. So it's the signature is still intact, but there are a couple of raindrops marring it slightly. However, as you pull it up, the bartender sort of like snorts and turns and gestures, and there's on the wall of this bar is a sort of like not welcome back in, and it's receipts that have people's signatures scrawled on them, and she points to a corner, and Volo's got his own little corner in the top left there. She says, "Him."
And so I say, yeah, look at what he did to my liar. You and I both have this in common. Neither of us like this man. Boy,
How recent are those tickets?
That's a tough call from where you're sitting.
No, I'm trying to figure out like when did he get banned from the Skewered Dragon?
The most recent one looks from a couple days ago. As you're talking, there's a clattering of stools, and one of the sailors sort of leans up against the bar next to Arnold at the end, and sort of like slides his empty tankard toward the bartender, and says, "I know that guy. I'll tell you where he is. I'll tell you for 5 silver pieces."
Question for you. Can you spot me 5 silver pieces?
Where is your accent going, Gary?
Move on. I can't wait to cut that part out too. Keep going.
Wait. You're editing this, man. Just do a second take. No one said anything
Yeah,
else.
just do a second take.
Yeah. Question for you. Can you spot me 5 silver pieces?
Are you okay? Did you just have a stroke?
Oh, this rock is doing something to me.
Oh, I actually really like it. I'm getting subtle notes of cinnamon and clove.
That was amazing. So, okay, as we talked about before, as the bard and someone who works, for the money to feed these degenerates, would I have enough to be able to, offer that and feel okay with it? Or what would I have left? I know I can't just like throw money out there all the time. So
you could bargain with your official signed liar.
Never. I will never part with this.
You could do a little dance.
You could do
an
exchange of goods or services, I believe is traditional. Yeah. Yeah.
So as I clearly still have the liar out, and I ask if it would be possible. I asked the woman if it would be possible for me to make some money entertaining people for the night while my friends. So I kind of say to her, just a second ago, I got so many people's attention just by playing for a second. It's like I don't confirm whether or not it was a welcomed attention, but I'm not lying to the person. I'm just very kindly telling her how good and how interesting I can be. So anyway.
Yeah, for sure. There is like a narrow stage sort of in a dusty corner with like a massive open window that they keep open for like ventilation purposes. So it's like already wet and sort of like shitty looking. But yeah, she nods at it and says, if you could scrape up a tune, I'll knock a few silvers off that price. Yeah, sure. I like to laugh.
Can I challenge the gentleman to like a game of cards to discount that silver price? Like if I win, you give us the information for free. If you win, nothing changes. Ideally.
I feel like you're gonna own something, but I'd do it.
Actually, yeah, he's into that. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll gamble with you. Yeah, pull up a chair, man.
All right.
I'll tell you what, I didn't have a card game planned. We're gonna play straight up two card high, right? So you're gonna pull two cards, and whoever's got the highest one wins. And the idea is to bluff the other person into thinking that you have the higher card.
I got you. Okay. Should I go get a deck of cards in real life?
Absolutely not. I'm gonna. No, fuck that noise.
Cool.
Sorry.
No,
that sounds terrible.
That was stupid. Why that was dumb.
No, it just doesn't sound like entertaining podcasting. Okay, so you sit down, just you and this guy, and he pulls out. He said 5 silver pieces, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he pulls out 5 silver, puts them in the middle of the table, and looks at you and says, "Do you have like any money? Or anything like collateral?
Can I hear this?
Do you have any leftover of the rock? He seemed to like that. Just give him your drinks.
Yeah, sure. I'll put like both of my half-empty tankards in the middle.
Wait, you're drinking from one at a time?
Yeah, correct. I didn't finish one and then start on the other. No,
double fisting,
alternated.
man.
Yeah.
We've all been there. It's fine.
Yes,
it
Arnold,
equals 1.
You see this all go down.
Okay, so since I kind of began to establish a situation with the woman of the bar, can I kind of like flip my wizard friend a little like a coin as I stand up to like start to try to play on the stage?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I want to do. So I start playing, and I'm just like, my wizard friend is gonna play some cards, he's gonna do great, and it won't be hard. And just like singing, like, being like, just like going at it, and like, we're gonna find our friend, his best friend Floon, then we're gonna leave, hopefully soon, this place is scary, oh crap. And I'm just like playing song, and just like going.
I love that.
So
it is every bit as terrible as it looks over there in that corner. You are actively getting rained on. And it's freezing and you're miserable, but tunes sound great. All right, Gary, we're gonna do a bluff roll off. You and this sailor.
A bluff roll off. Why is bluff not on here? Is it am I a moron?
Deception. Sorry.
Got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Deception.
I'm with you. Okay. And I rolled a bummer, natural 9, so a 13.
You know what? That's still better than him. So he throws his cards down on the table in disgust, takes his coin back, and slides your silver piece back to you, and says, "Yeah, that guy was here the other day. He was drinking with somebody."
Do you happen to remember who?
I would love you to ask that in your character voice.
Damn it! Do you happen to remember who?
No, I didn't get a good look at him. I was pretty wasted at the time.
Valid.
I'm so glad we didn't pay for this info.
All right, well,
they looked like they were having a bad time. They were arguing, pretty bad, actually.
And can I hear this? Am I like? Did
Right.
he happen to have a really fluffy mustache?
No, he had like bright red hair.
the Weasleys.
Carrot Top.
Yeah, kind of looked a little fancy pants. Didn't really look like he belonged here. Things got a little heated up, and he hustled Floon out of here. That fucking dig dog. And they went that way, and he points out the window, and catty corner to the bar, you can see there's a shop with a massive purple beholder in the window. A beholder, so glad you asked, is a large it's a monster essentially from Dungeons and Dragons. It's sort of like a giant eye floating with like other eyes on tentacles. It's pretty horrifying.
A biblically accurate angel.
Yeah. But he points to a shop and he sort of says they went that way.
It's like a normal thing for these monsters to just be like chilling in front of shops and
like aquariums.
It's a sign. It's a sign.
Okay.
Not an actual beholder.
Thank you.
To be fair, you did not make that clear.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they went that way, and he pointed next to the Lovecraftian horror. Now,
they left together.
I never knew Floon to be someone to hang out with fancy people. So this is very strange.
It's funny. I don't either. I see him around here all the time. He always talks about having money, but he always bumming drinks off of people. He tried to bum a drink off me. I said, no, man, get out of here.
So he frequented here.
Yeah, he comes in every now and then. I mean, our brunch is fucking famous, man. You tried the shrimp French toast?
Not yet. Well,
dope as hell.
when around was the last time you saw him? Was it this interaction where he was fighting with the carrot?
Aye, it was two nights ago.
2 nights ago. Aye. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
I literally tap this dude that I still don't know his name, right? I don't know anybody's name still. And I tap him to come on, and I'm kind of pull him up out of the chair with me because I have a feeling that he's the type of person that will try to pickpocket this dude, and just like, I don't trust him.
How dare you?
So as we're walking though, I look over and I say, hey y'all, I know we haven't really done much of this, but I'm cerulean. Can everybody tell me who they are? What are y'all's names?
I have I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Potential continuity question. Didn't he give us, because didn't Garrett's character take all the money and then Cerulean call him out for it, and then Garrett was like, it's for everybody, I'm just keeping an eye on it. So don't we technically have money?
We do have. I do remember that interaction.
You have a little bit of money. I'll tell you what, let's use this moment right now while we're all paying attention to establish how much money you have.
Because Volo paid
But
us
I think
up
in
front.
the last episode, yeah, there was a specific amount that he.
I believe he gave us 1 million gold pieces.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
sure
I
he
remember.
did. No, he gave you 10 gold
10.
pieces each. So you
Pretty
have
good.
a 40 sum on you. Would have been handy for me to tell you that before I tried to extort money from you. But Anthony, you feel like you can leave fairly easily. Like nobody's paying attention to you. You can go ahead.
So, do I settle with the woman? Like, can I walk over there and I'm like, I don't actually. I know we had a deal and I was gonna play for money, but I really hear good things about this shrimp French toast or whatever. And I'm just like, can I have some for the road? Like, can I just? That's it. We'll call it even. Like even Steven, like fair square. Like I just want some food and I'm like head out.
So let me get this straight. Not only did you not play, but you want me to give you free food.
Hang on,
for a menu that we. You did play. You want me to give you free food.
Y'all are best friends now, so.
I was like, okay, so I'm like, oh, can we call it like? I'm sure I'll see you again. We're gonna be in this town for a while. If I come back and it's on the menu, and like maybe I'll play again. You give me some French toast.
Sure. The next time you're at the Skewered Dragon in the C Ward and you want to play for some French toast, we'll let you play for some
That's
French
cool.
toast.
French toast.
Shrimp French toast, baby. Haven't tried it? Blow your mind.
You're telling me a shrimp French to that toast?
I'm gonna fucking murder you.
Get out of here.
So I catch up with my friends and I'm just like, geez, my new best friend, she's gonna give me shrimp French toast, guys. This is amazing. Like, where are we going? What did you learn? Did you learn anything? Did I help?
That's not something a friend would do to you.
Oh.
Got him.
So they said that the last time that they talked, this homeboy said the last time he talked or saw Floon, he was with some uppity ginger fella, and they went over to this here shop. And I point to the shop with the purple beholder, and
But
do I
not a
see
real
a
one.
name?
A sign of a purple beholder in fading gold letters that are sort of peeling off the sign. You see the name, the Old Zoblob Shop. You do not have to write that down. It's not that important.
Where's the new Zoblob shop?
Oof, that's the real question. Am I right?
I get a
Like
tattoo of the
OLDE?
Zoblob shop.
Blam! Ad break. Hi, it's me, Alexander James, your friendly neighborhood dungeon master. That sounded more entertaining in my head. Hi, thank you so much for listening to Critically Stupid, our little Dungeons and Dragons podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Just a couple of quick announcements. I'll let you get right back to the show. We are playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, an official D&D module written by, I'm going to get it all right this time, Scott Fitzgerald Gray, Kim Mohan, Michelle Carter, I goofed it. Hang on, I've got it right here. Chris Perkins, Michelle Carter, Scott Fitzgerald Gray, Kim Mohan. One of these days I will get them all in one go. If you are enjoying this or it inspires you in any way, I highly suggest you go to dnd.wizards.com. Check out all the great products they have. They've got modules, they've got dice, they've got pencils, probably. who knows what kind of goods you'll find in the Cave of Wonders known as dnd.wizards.com. If you would like to end up as a character on Critically Stupid, I've got a lot of arcs coming up where I'm going to need NPC names kind of at the drop of a hat, and I love using our community names, mainly because I can't make them up on the spot because I'm not very creative. You can tweet us at CritStupid. You can leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Listen to us on Spotify. Let us know what you think of us there. Just like get in touch, and maybe I'll use your name. So thank you so much for listening. I'm going to let you get back to it. I'm really glad you're here. All right. Bye.
OLDESHOPPE.
It is XOBLOB.
Ye old.
EXO?
XOBLOB Zoblob.
Zoblob, XOBL. Oh,
What
wow.
did you just call me?
There are a handful of candles burning inside. You can see them through the smudged windows. And for the record, the sailor told you that this was the direction that Floon and this other person.
Not necessarily into the shop.
Not necessarily in the shop, but the shop does sit on the corner and has sort of like a 180-degree view of the street. And
Yeah, we could ask to check their security camera footage.
100%.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Fantasy
Actually,
security
can I-
footage.
Yeah,
Can I
correct.
tell what kind of shop it is? Like, is it an apothecary?
Actually, you don't need to tell because underneath the fading peeled gold letters, old Zoblob shop, it says curiosities and other wares.
Well, I'm
Okay.
curious.
I don't want to get.
I'm so interested in this shop.
If I was the cat, I'd be dead as hell. I'll tell you that.
Ollie.
Stepping
My head
inside,
hurts to the left of that.
you are hit immediately with the smell of almost like perfumed tobacco.
Nice.
This shop almost stinks.
Like
there
a clove?
Yeah, exactly, like a clove cigarette almost. There are floor to ceiling shelves, aisle shelves that are like simultaneously really tall and really narrow and look really precarious, like they're going to fall. In the back of the shop, sort of against one window, there is a countertop, and you hear a high-pitched voice squeak up and go, "Well, hello there." And rounding the corner, you see a plume of purple smoke sort of like expand like almost from a vacuum and unfurl around an old wizened gnome. A gnome is like Bestie, like a very small person, maybe like 2 feet tall. He's sitting on a stool on top of several books. And he's got a long white beard that he's sort of like curling around one finger and a massive pipe in the other. It's like almost the size of his skull.
So I think garden gnome minus the hat.
Oh,
Almost
in my head,
precisely.
he has a hat.
Yeah, no, the hat is unnegotiable.
Yeah, definitely has a hat.
So if I'm like where this magical gnome has just popped into existence, if I were to like turn around, would he have a view out into the street from the
100%.
window?
Yeah, I'm interested in your curiosity in other wares.
Well, are you interested more in the curiosities or the other wares?
Definitely the curiosities.
What are you curious about? That's just a joke.
Number one, actually two things. One, what is a Zoblob?
That's me.
Dude.
I'm Zoblob.
Nice to meet you, Zoblob. Two, why do you laugh like Mickey Mouse?
Well, that's a copyright infringement. I'm not allowed to say.
You're gonna have to edit that out.
I was thinking the gingerbread man from Shrek.
Pretty good too. I'm sure my accent will change, so it's not a very good one. Somebody give me just a basic perception check standing inside the store. Anybody?
I'll go throw in one of those.
Well, first of all, I rolled a nat 20.
Well, then we'll take it.
Yeah.
Let's go and do that one.
Yeah, so let me look. Hang on. You say investigation?
Perception.
Oh, I'm sorry, perception. Oh, that's also okay. So 23 total.
Every single thing in this shop, every item in the cubbies, everything hanging on the walls is purple.
Hell yeah.
I don't know why I knew it. I just knew that.
This
sweet.
gnome is wearing a purple brocade robe that is like inlaid. Like you get the idea that like once upon a time it might have actually been pretty nice, but now it's like tattered and ratty. But it is also a deep purple.
So are we also on the train of the non-infringement house? Are we thinking like Anastasia, like hat, wizard
Yeah, like
outfit.
like wizard vibe, or more like Kingdom Hearts, where he's like a badass with a sword. That game's weird.
I mean,
I love
we'll,
that game.
we'll figure it out as we go. It looks however you want it to look in your head. What's the next question?
Have you? Do you happen to be paying very much attention to the Skewered Dragon across the street?
Well, every now and then a rough customer comes in drunk off their butts and wants to buy something off the shelves.
Speaking of said drunk customers that are unhappy, have you seen any of them walk past here angrily? Two dudes, one of them bright red hair, the other looks like a moron.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you've got a curiosity to add to the shelves, well, maybe we'll call it a bargain.
Ooh, hold on, there's some time for brainstorming now.
What exactly do we know? Like what is on the shelves? What's
That's a great
curiosity
question.
anyway?
All purple, I'll tell you that.
I know it's purple.
Okay.
In my head, the gnome's hat is purple. Everything's purple.
Hold on. So, okay, I have a holy symbol in my gear. Can I prestidigitation it and make it purple behind my back? And then say I have a curiosity? Who's the largest of us, like people?
I figured, like, without talking about body size, Diana's wearing like a voluminous cloak. So I imagine she takes up the most surface area.
I'm just gonna walk behind Mel.
I feel like we can just
Walk
count
behind
on the
Mel.
bard to naturally be a bit of a distraction.
Yeah,
without
me and the bard are like
lying.
keeping very intense conversation with Zoblob here.
what
Eye
I was gonna
contact
say-
and everything.
Well, what I was gonna say is, so as I did the perception check, and I was, looking around and seeing the curiosities, and I did, I rolled pretty high. I imagine, as someone who is fascinated by pretty much everything, that I'd want to look at something in particular. So, like, can you give me any kind of description of the type of stuff I see that is purple? Because you gave me a lot of purple, but like, do I see like?
Yeah, can we do that thing that like shoplifters do, where they're like, yeah, give me that from the back, and their friend goes and like take something.
You mean, like
Okay.
shoplift.
Correct. Yeah.
Shoplifters do.
You know that thing that shoplifters do.
Behind
Shoplifting.
the counter,
Okay.
sort of hung up on the wall, there's like the grand curiosities, you could call them, bigger stuff that wouldn't fit on the shelves. There's what appears to be an actual troll skull that has been crudely dyed purple. There is a wing of some sort of creature that is also unsurprisingly dyed purple. Some larger items, like there's a big hookah pipe sitting on a shelf that's gathering dust.
What color is it?
It's it's blue. No, I'm just kidding. It's purple. However, Anthony, with your phenomenal perception roll, what I will tell you is that you notice a small scuffed insignia on the countertop just underneath this Zoblob's pipe. And it is a circle with 10 spokes radiating out of it.
Is it just a wheel? Like, is that what the symbol is?
It looks like a wheel,
It's
but
like
without
it's
the
just
outside
like a ship.
rim.
It's like a
Okay.
ship's wheel.
Yeah, something
And
like that.
this is Katie. Just as a side note, because I know Diana, you're newer to playing. If one person perceives something, that does not mean the rest of us do. So Anthony has that information and he can share it with us if he so chooses to, but otherwise our characters don't know crap.
Yeah, for example, Gareth does not notice the spoken wheel, but is immediately blown away by the purple troll skull and is fascinated.
So while
Can
all
I
this-
can I see that, the skull? Can you bring it down so I can look at it?
Yeah, while all of this is going on, I'm just gonna slide nonchalantly behind Mel like I'm looking at something on a shelf. And I'm gonna pull the holy symbol out and I'm just gonna wave my hand over it, cast prestidigitation. And I'm gonna go up to Zoblob. Hey Zoblob, honey, I know you said that you wanted to maybe trade something. I have this beautiful purple gem of mine that it's so dear to my heart, but I'd part with it for some information.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That is magnificent. Can I see that? And he whips out 2 gloves that are bright lilac and puts them on his hands and very gently like takes your holy symbol. Gosh, that's just quite the piece. Look at that coloring. You don't see that marbling very much these days. That's old school. I like that.
It sure
Gosh,
is.
did it run in the family? It looks like it ran in the family.
It was my grandpappy's.
Gosh, it does really look old. Yeah, for sure I'll take this. I'll tell you everything. What do you want to know?
So the fellows that we are in question about, there was a red-headed uppity man, and he had another man with him by the name of Floon. We were trying to get some information about the red-headed uppity man. He's one of our dear friends, and we've lost track of him, and he just didn't show up.
Oh gosh, you're talking about those fellows that were jumped on the street here the other night.
They were jumped.
Sure were. They were arguing right in front of that theater right there.
And he points across the street from the old Zoblob shop is a theater, run down. Every bit is sort of like decrepit as the rest of this neighborhood. The sign is sort of like slanted. It is open, like the lights are on, but it's one of those things where like all of the actors are hanging out in front, kind of thing, and like talking to themselves. Like it's clearly not a lot of business going in there. Zoblob clicks his tongue and goes,
You know what? A noble owned that theater, part of his vast estate. Couldn't be bothered to come down here and take care of it. So I just let it go to pieces. Neighborhood went with it. What are you gonna do? Lowers the property value, I'll tell you that.
What does this have to do with the two guys getting mugged?
Oh gosh, sorry, I forgot.
Zoblob?
Yeah, I saw those two dudes you were talking about with the red hair. Yeah, they were out there. They were arguing. They looked like they were having a heck of a time. And just wham bam out of nowhere. A bunch of dudes in black just came up and got them.
Did they like rob them or take any money? Was it just unprompted, no reason behind it?
They just take them, like they took the men.
They took the men. They took Floon and this other guy, and he points and he says,
"Yeah, they really just cracked him over the head, dragged him into that building right there."
Next to the theater is a dark warehouse.
Boom.
You said they were arguing pretty animatedly. Did you hear any of it? Do you know what they were arguing about?
No, I was in the middle of negotiating a very important trade of items.
And he takes a big puff of his pipe.
Nice.
Can I do an insight check? He said of items.
He was buying drugs.
Sure.
No, 17 plus 5. Ooh.
It's pretty good. Whatever he was buying, he was pretty stoked about it.
Hardcore drugs.
That good shit.
Well, I so appreciate, if there's it in frick.
You're doing great.
Well, if you happen to have any other information, we'll probably be back through here a couple of times. Maybe I can come back in and I can just visit my grandpappy's symbol. If somebody hasn't bought the gem up, it's so beautiful.
Sure. Yeah. Very excited about it. You
glad.
can't just like come back and take it. You're gonna have to buy it back from me.
Oh, I know.
Okay, what's next?
While Cerylion's talking to the man, I kind of take out my notebook and just kind of like draw that symbol that I'm seeing on the. I draw the circle symbol and I kind of like. So I elbow Gary and I point to it and I kind of like just so everyone's aware, so he's aware of it and sees,
Give me just a really quick like sleight of hand check because I want to see like how subtly you managed to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 15 total.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Gary, Gareth, you catch the bard digging an elbow into your side. He points at a symbol drawn on a piece of paper and then points to the countertop.
Nice. Okay. It definitely takes me a while, but I put it together like 5 minutes later. I'm like, oh!
Nice.
Should have gone to school.
Is Adam still outside?
No, you are several blocks away from Adam at this point.
Let's see if we can squeeze some more information out of him. Okay.
And
I look around and I look at our little party and I say, is there anybody that's particularly good at sneaking around?
That's my whole thing. That I was really good at that back at home. In fact, I was the only one good at it, and coincidentally, the only thing bad at a lot of other things. So yes.
feel like,
All right.
am I
Well,
not good at? I'm good at sneaking around.
You're actually fairly decent, Bestie. Yeah, you got a +5 to your stealth roll.
Hey. What do you have, Garen?
+7. We'll make a great team.
Sneaking.
Okay. So, well, Gareth, do you want to go poke around maybe the front of the warehouse? You can see the
I
windows, or-
I'm so excited to be productive. Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
The warehouse is a sort of like standard dockside warehouse, much larger than the theater. A door sort of set on wheels that has the ability to slide closed, but is currently shut. The windows are dark, and as you walk up, there is a very imposing looking lock and shackle over the door.
Can we see any signage from where we're at now, though?
No, there is notably no signage on this warehouse.
Is there any like window I can make my way up to like look in?
There are a bank of windows set into the wall above the door, maybe like 20 feet up, fairly tall. However, looking up, you notice that the roof of this warehouse is sloped and almost touches the roof of the theater next door.
Almost like we can totally get up there via the theater.
You could climb on top. You feel it like you could climb on top of the roof of the theater and get inside. Cerulean and Gareth, not Gareth, I'm so sorry. Arnold, what are you guys up to while the rogue and the ranger do their thing?
Do I have them in my eyesight? Like, do I have them in my line of sight?
Yeah, I mean, for a little bit, they're going to disappear because it involves going sort of into the alley next to the theater and then up but you feel like once over, they can wave to you and catch your attention.
Okay. I point at Gareth and I'm going to use message and I'm going to whisper to him, "Hey, honey, it's me," so that he doesn't get totally psyched out.
No, it does not work. I still get startled.
If you see something, you can let me know, but don't just go barging in there. I think that we should stay together.
I reply out loud. She can't hear this. Okay.
Tremendous. I love it. Arnold, what are you up to?
Okay, okay. How about I just like kind of go like I go to run past Cerulean. I'm like, "There's a show," and I'm just like, "What is this?"
Yeah, no, I grab your arm.
Like a mother restraining a child.
Mhm, exactly. Honey, focus. Okay. Honey, focus. We're finding
You're
a
right.
ginger man.
You're right. I don't want to throw them off. They're probably on their A game right now. I don't want to ruin the show. We'll catch it later.
We need to find your best friend, Floon.
Oh, what if he's an actor? And I kind of just like trail off for a second and I think about this.
Hey, now we're getting somewhere.
I was like, Floon is clearly not a fighter. He pretends to be rich, but he's not rich, but he's good at pretending. So I'm just like sitting there in my own train of thought trying to figure out who Floon is.
I think that these are all great trains of thought, honey, and I think that we will do really well to ask him when we find him, when we can find the people that snatched him out of the road.
I learned so much from you. I learned about love. I learned about Floon. I'm on it. I'm listening to you from now on. You are my mom.
All right, we're gonna breeze past that one really quick. So over the rooftops, Dianna and Gareth, give me a stealth check. Let me see how well you navigate these. Give me a stealth and an acrobatics check, please.
All right, I'll give my stealth first up. Oh, so okay. Good news, I rolled a 21 for acrobatics. Bad news, I rolled a 16 for stealth.
Okay, Dianna, roll that d20. What does it say?
A 19? Which one was
Holy
that?
shit! Yeah, that's really good. Okay,
that was
so that's a 20. Yeah. So that was
24.
24 stealth. Roll one more time.
12.
Okay, so you both nimbly leap up these roofs, scaling them like cats, and then like kick a couple of roof tiles. There's a moment of like attention in the street from, I imagine, Arnold and Cerulean as that roof tile hits the cobblestones in the alleyway beneath, but nobody looks up. So you get to the roof of this warehouse, sloped sides, flat top, couple of chimneys here and there, and there is an open hatchback window in the middle that is exposed to the night, and you hear voices coming out of it.
Can we eavesdrop a little bit, see what they're saying?
Yeah, for sure. You get closer and you notice that the voices are not human, or rather they are human, but the closer you get, the more you realize that it is a imitation of a human voice.
Ooh, funky.
A sort of like a high pitched sort of like, tie the pretty boy up in the back room.
Under a parent?
What? You're attacked by pirates? Oh God!
You inside this window, there's a warehouse floor down beneath, but you can see there's a second story sort of ringing this warehouse, almost like a balcony, and there is a side door that you can see leads out into a fire escape into the alley. You can see an open warehouse floor, lots of stacked boxes and crates, but you are unable to see who is speaking. There are a pair of torches that are well shielded from the windows and the doors to the street, so that it's supposed to look dark, but it is actually semi-illuminated in here. And you get the impression of movement, footsteps sort of clattering, but you're unable to see anybody specific.
Yeah, so I kind of wait for like the voices to be a little farther away before I start maneuvering, but I will give you a stealth check here.
Do it.
Do you want stealth and acrobatics or just stealth?
Just stealth. It's not that hard of a swing.
Cool. A 9, so 16.
Okay. You swing into the window and throw yourself onto the balcony. However, your foot catches on the railing, and everybody hears, including Cerulean and Arnold, on the street, hears like a clang as you
just like an audible fuck.
Yeah, it's like shit.
So when Arnold hears that sound, it's like a big bang, like a clang, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
I naturally as like a musician who's like interested in sounds and mimicry and that and like acting and stuff.
E sharp.
So I identify the sound and I use minor illusion cantrip and just like perfectly mimic it outside of the door, like over and over a couple of times, just like bong.
All right.
Bong.
Nice. I see the vision.
Did anybody notice him other than me? I mean, I know he made a sound, but did anybody like actually see him thug it up?
The voices beneath you have silenced. But you don't see any. But you don't see any. Again, don't see any movement. You don't hear any pitter pattering of feet.
So I am gonna ask him, what was that?
This startles me less this time, but like
And you whisper, when you whisper it, only I can hear it.
I missed.
You missed. What do you mean? You missed what? I thought we weren't going in. What's happening?
Okay. We as a group are not in. That is true. But that is fine. It's fine. I'm doing a little reconnaissance, if you will.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a polite suggestion that maybe you should do your reconnaissance a little bit quieter.
Thank you. I hadn't taken that into account. I had intended to keep tripping and making small noises throughout.
All right, Gary, what are we doing?
I assume I can see more now that I'm actually inside, right?
Yes. So you can see a large staircase moving down into leading from the balcony that you're at to the main floor. There are office doors sort of like set into this upper floor, a couple with opaque windows that look out onto the loading area, you would assume. And you also see 2 birds on legs, for lack of a better. They look like giant ravens, except with humanoid limbs.
Like what kind of leg? Like human limbs? Like human legs?
Human limbs, except they have like big feathers on their shoulders and bird heads.
Like an Anarcho crowd.
This is horrifying.
And there are also
like a plague doctor costume.
It's like a plague doctor costume, except if it was a real bird.
Right, that's what I mean.
There are also, Garion, 3 humanoid figures wearing rather familiar looking black leather armor.
I assume same black leather armor as those dudes getting arrested?
You would assume correctly.
All right. Is anyone can anyone see me? Or I guess I wouldn't know that. Is anyone looking at me?
Not yet.
Okay.
Are the bird people and the regular people conversing, or are they like what are they doing?
They are conversing. The squawking is obviously from the bird people. And actually, as you're watching, one of them sort of like bristles. You can only catch like patchwork glimpses of them as they're behind barrels and boxes. But one of the bird people bristles, and then the next voice out of his mouth is a deeper sort of like scratchy voice and says, "No time to loot the place. We got to get him to the boss. Let's go."
Do I have any inkling of who they're talking about, of who him is and why they need to go to the boss? I have a guess.
You do not.
I should have asked if I like saw someone bound up and gagged who was obviously being kidnapped.
Negative.
Do the people in the black leather? Can I like roll insight to see if they're working together? If it's like I assume they're working together. Actually, this is a very long-winded way of me saying I have jack shit to do and do not know. So
there is a door that you saw that opens up on this balcony to a fire escape.
In fact, that's my whole reason for coming in here, was to see if the door was unlocked, wasn't it? I'm going to go ahead and test that thing, see if it's see how that's doing.
The door is unlocked.
Outstanding. Great. Success, everybody.
Yeah, like, what's the play? Do you open the door?
Look, the connection's still open, dude. You can talk to me.
Oh, can I? Sweet. Yeah. I'm
Do I see the door open?
Yeah, I'm going to get Cerulean and Arnold over here. I assume Diana can see me open the door and come out.
Yes, Arnold, you can see the door open.
We can see the door open?
Yeah, it's a vague suggestion of a shadow sort of like set in the alleyway, but like because you're already looking up there, you see a shadow against a shadow move. And Mel, you see the rogue open the door. It is, however, that is a nat one, severely not greased. And squeals like a pig on the run. And yes, Gary, now they see you.
Sweet.
And you hear a voice go, "Hey, who's that?"
I need you.
I close the door. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and flee out the door to regroup with the gang here.
As me from the ground, when I look towards where I heard the sound and where I might see a sliver of light where he opens the door, do I see anyone coming out in pursuit of Gareth?
Before that happens, we're gonna do Mel's thing really quick, just sort of so we can stay chronological. You see a handful of like black figures streaming through the narrow alleys made of boxes and barrels towards the stairs in hot pursuit.
Oh, so I am currently being pursued.
You don't know that.
No, but this is a great confirmation.
But I do. Okay, look, I don't have to like shoot to kill. I mean, you make me seem so bad because I'm already shooting arrows at people. Maybe I just need to slow them up so my homeboy can get away.
True.
I, as your homeboy, would recommend shooting to kill.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Truthfully, honestly, like the plague doctor thing is, we're in a pandemic, guys.
It's in poor taste.
Yeah, I think I might shoot. So okay, so can I shoot? Can I shoot?
Hell yeah! Roll that d20 and add 5 to it.
Does she get advantage since they don't know where she is?
No, she's hitting moving targets 2 floors away.
Oh well.
So
I'm just that good.
That's what
she might be. Let's find out.
17.
That's good.
I didn't add.
Roll a d8. That's the pyramid-looking one.
Look, they all look like pyramids. I'm just kidding. Pyramid. A 5. That's a 5. That's a 5.
So yeah, so you whip your bow out and fire an arrow through the window, and you catch the sort of like main guy in the shoulder, and you see him like sort of fly against the wall. He wasn't expecting, obviously, an arrow. He was intent
aerial
on his
assault.
Yeah, exactly. So he sort of like slams against the wall from the impact, and there are more cries of like, "There's someone on the roof," and there is a retaliatory shattering of glass as a crossbow bolt breaks the window about 6 inches away from your head. And you see that one of them has a hand crossbow pointed up at the window.
I don't suppose I can be like waiting by the door on the outside. for them to come out.
I mean, you can tell me whatever you want to do, bro.
Basically, just gonna see if I can wait for one of them to follow me out the door in pursuit, and then be like, "Aha, you moron!"
One of them's gonna run out the door. Are you holding it shut? Or are you keeping it open? What's your
No,
play here?
the door is open. I'm basically just on the other side of it, so they run directly past me.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty good play, actual. All right, yeah.
Do I get a?
Yeah, no, Arnold and Cerulean, you can now see sort of what's going on. You've been alerted.
Are they within, like, do I have a line of like a path I can take to get there?
You can run through the alleyway and get to the end of the stairs. It's going to take probably at least 2 actions to get to the platform up there, because it's, you got to figure 30 feet down and then another 20 feet back up on the stairs. Or you could, I don't know, parkour up some boxes and get there faster if you were fucking feeling it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it because I'm also the idiot that decided to try to land on some flippy dudes.
Say, if there's some bankers around.
Okay, give me an acrobatics.
I have a 0 modifier on this, so this is just a
hell yeah.
straight roll. Come on. Nope. Yeah, 16.
Nice.
16. All right. You scramble a little bit getting up the stone sort of brick wall that's closed off the alleyway. But after that, you manage to jump onto a pile of boxes and then like scrabble onto the railing. So now you are on the opposite side of the doorway.
Likely where they're coming out of?
That is accurate. Yeah. Arnold, what are you up to?
So the bird people and the human-esque people, do I see them coming through the door as if they're chasing Garion, or are they still on the other side of the threshold?
You do not. You heard the commotion. You heard the crossbow bolt break the window. So you're and you saw Cerulean like take off like a shot. So you're aware that something's going on, but you have not seen a bad guy yet.
Okay, I'm just gonna follow her then. I'm gonna like go with her and be like, whoa, what's going on? Oh no, what was that?
Yeah, give me a basic acrobatics roll. Let me see
cool.
how skillfully you follow Cerulean.
Okay, 16 plus 1, so 17.
Okay, yeah, you managed to get up behind Cerulean. It is now, I'm going to say, pretty crowded on that balcony with 3 of you on what was essentially designed for a one-at-a-time person catwalk. But you hear the sort of like slamming sounds of footsteps.
Can I slam the door shut?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am saving my own hide and I am slamming that thing shut as hard as I possibly can. And I reach out to, and I'm looking at is Arnold right by me, like already? Arnold, help me with the door.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, so as you reach out to grab the door, you manage to grab it and pull it from Gareth's grip, who's Scooby-Dooing behind the door. And as you take it to close it, a 6-foot-tall raven explodes through the sliver of doorway straight into you and knocks you off the railing. And the 2 of you go hurtling into the wet, rainy night air.